Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a classic, Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. We're going to unpack the ideas that are, honestly, the foundation for pretty much every successful human connection you can think of, at work, at home, everywhere. All right, let's just jump right in with a big question. What do you think is the single most important factor for financial success? I mean, is it your technical chops, your education, your smarts, or is it something else? Well, the answer is probably not what you'd guess. Get this. Research from the Carnegie Foundation, of all places, found that your technical skill, all the stuff you learn in school, that only accounts for about 15% of your financial success. Just 15. The other 85%, a huge chunk, it all comes down to what they called human engineering. Basically, your people skills.
And that right there, that brings us to what I like to call the 85% problem. Because if dealing with other people is the number one factor in our success, it's also, let's be honest, our number one challenge. It doesn't matter if you're an engineer, a boss, or just trying to get your kids to listen.
And here's the crazy part, right? We spend all this time and money in school, just grinding away, getting better at that 15%. But that giant 85% that actually moves the needle, we pretty much ignore it. It's like we're totally focused on the wrong thing.
Okay, so how do we start to tackle that massive 85%? Well, Dale Carnegie's whole philosophy is built on one simple, but honestly, game-changing shift in perspective. And it sounds so simple, but it goes against everything we naturally want to do. The real secret to influencing anyone is to just stop thinking about what you want. Instead, you have to focus completely on what they want. It's this massive flip from thinking me, to thinking you.
All right, let's get practical. Rule number one is actually about what not to do.
Carnegie had this great line. Criticisms are like homing pigeons. They always return home. And it's so true, isn't it? When you criticize someone, they immediately get defensive. It never inspires real change. All it does is hurt their pride and make them dig in their heels. And that bad feeling? Oh yeah, it'll come right back to you.
Even one of the greatest leaders in history, Abraham Lincoln, had to learn this the hard way. When he was a young guy, he wrote this letter to a newspaper and just completely tore into this local politician, a guy named James Shields. Shields was so furious, so absolutely incensed that he challenged Lincoln to a duel. Not just any duel, a duel to the death. With broadswords, they were literally on a sandbar about to go at it when friends stepped in at the last possible second. Lincoln, as you can imagine, never forgot that. He never publicly criticized anyone ever again.
Okay, so if criticizing is out, what's in? What do you do instead? Well, rule number 2 gives us the answer. You've got to tap into what the other person wants. This is really the core of persuasion, right? You can't make anybody do anything. You just can't. But what you can do is make them want to do it. And the only way to pull that off is to talk about their wants, their needs, not yours.
Carnegie had this perfect analogy for it. He said, "Personally, I'm very fond of strawberries and cream. But when he goes fishing, he doesn't put strawberries and cream on the hook, does he? Of course not. He uses a worm. Why? Because that's what the fish wants. It's so simple. You have to bait the hook to suit the fish, not yourself."
There's this fantastic story about Ralph Waldo Emerson. He and his son are out there pushing and pulling, trying to force this little calf into the barn. And the calf is just not having it. It won't budge. So their housemaid comes out, sees the struggle, and she does something totally different. She just sticks her finger in the calf's mouth. The calf starts sucking on it, thinking of its mother, and just like that, she calmly leads it right into the barn. She understood what the calf wanted.
All right, our third and final rule for today, this one might be the most powerful of all, and it's also the one we forget the most. It's really the foundation of any genuine connection. You ever wonder why pretty much everyone loves dogs? It's because a dog gives you its complete, undivided attention. It's just genuinely thrilled to see you. And there's a huge lesson there. The quickest way to make friends isn't to try to get people interested in you. It's to get genuinely interested in them. Stop trying to be interesting and just start being interested. Look, here's a hard truth, but an important one. People aren't interested in you. They're not interested in me. They are interested in themselves, morning, noon, and after dinner. In fact, to prove this point, the New York Telephone Company did this really cool study once on phone calls. They wanted to see what the most used word was. Any guesses? Across 500 phone calls, the word I was used almost 4,000 times.
3,900 times. It's because we're all the star of our own movie, right? So if you really want to connect with someone, you've got to be willing to hit pause on your movie and go watch theirs for a bit.
So we've talked about criticism and fishing and calves. What's the big idea? What's the one thread that ties all of this together?
And it's really important to get this. This isn't about being fake or learning some clever tricks to manipulate people. It's about a real, deep, fundamental shift in how you see the world. It's about moving from I to you. It's about genuinely wanting to see things from their side. So let's just run through those 3 rules one more time. First, stop criticizing. Just understand instead of condemning. Second, figure out what they want. See it from their angle. And third, genuinely listen. Be interested, not interesting. Master these, and you're well on your way to conquering that 85%. But look, knowing this stuff is one thing. Doing it is another. So I've got a challenge for you. Think about your life this week. Which one of these rules can you actually practice? Maybe it's just biting your tongue instead of criticizing someone. Or maybe it's trying to see a problem from your coworker's point of view. Or maybe it's as simple as putting your phone away when a friend is talking. Just pick one, try it out, and see what happens.